I let my grandpa's house rot for 10 years. Then I found out what he was hiding in the walls. My grandpa died 10 years ago. He was the kind of guy who wore the same boots for 40 years, thought microwaves were a government scam, and believed in hiding cash in soup cans. He lived alone in this crumbling 2-story farmhouse in rural Pennsylvania with yellowed wallpaper and floorboards that squeaked even when you stood still. When he passed, nobody wanted the place. My mom called it a rotting museum of paranoia, but legally it was mine. I was in college and couldn't afford the taxes or repairs, so I just left it, locked up and abandoned. Flash forward to this year. Property taxes were catching up, and I either had to sell the house or fix it up. So I took a month off work and drove out with the idea of cleaning it, fixing what I could, and listing it. The first few days were exactly what you'd expect: dead mice, collapsed ceiling tiles, and piles of National Geographic magazines from the 60s. But it was the fourth night when I heard the knock, 3 slow knocks from inside the wall of the living room. I froze, thought it was in my head. Then it happened again this time, from behind the built-in bookshelf, hollow, like someone tapped it from inside the wall. My grandpa used to mutter about keeping the wrong things out and listening through the beams. I always assumed it was just dementia or trauma from his military days, but something about that knock felt deliberate. Curiosity overruled fear, and I started inspecting the bookshelf. After pulling out every dusty book, I noticed faint seams around the back panel. It was a door, a hidden latch triggered by pulling out a copy of 1984 ***. Behind it was a staircase leading down. I'd lived there as a kid, and I never knew there was a basement. The room below was cold and concrete lined, like a bunker. A single bulb flickered overhead. What I saw next stopped me dead. Stacks of journals labeled McCultra Trial 1974 to 1986. A wall of maps covered in pins, strings, and scribbled notes. Photographs of men in suits, some with their eyes scratched out. And in the corner, a metal crate the size of a mini fridge, sealed shut with padlocks. Each journal was filled with meticulous writing experiments, dates, names, side effects. My grandpa had been part of a government-funded mind control study, not a victim, a scientist. He wrote about how they tested frequencies, chemicals, and sleep disruption protocols. But he left the program after Project Bellwether went wrong. Participants were hearing whispers months later. One subject clawed out his own ears. Then I found a final entry from 1992. I pried open the metal crate using bolt cutters I found in the garage. Inside was an old reel-to-reel tape machine, still humming faintly. The tape was marked, "Do not play." I shouldn't have pressed play, but I did. It's been 4 days. I haven't slept. Not truly. Every time I close my eyes, I see the same hallway, the same door. I wake up with blood dripping from my nose, and I'm hearing knocks again. This time, from inside the bedroom walls. I think I brought something back.